I Hello and welcome. I'm tired of fighting all the time. It's the same fights that keep coming up over and over again. It's a statement that I've heard endless number of times. The truth is, every couple does have fights. It's impossible not to, right? Yes, there could be times that over a period of time you must have seen these ideal couples who say we hardly fight. But in order to get there, it is a process. Because having a difference in opinion is human. There are no two humans who can think, feel, and act exactly the same way and can be in agreement about everything on the planet. It's just not possible. So, given that conflicts are inevitable, how can we make sure that our relationships don't take a hit because of these difference in opinion, in difference in ideas and thoughts and values? The surprising truth comes from Dr. Gottman's research, where he talks about not avoiding conflict. The best of relationships come not from avoiding conflict, but from how those conflicts are handled. When you are in the middle of a fight, in the middle of a disagreement, what you do, how you speak, how you address this difference, this conflict, pretty much determines whether the situation is escalating or de-escalating, right? No matter what you do, what you choose to say, how you choose to respond, everything that you say is either going to make things better, as in de-escalate the situation, or it is going to make things worse, as in escalate the situation, where one or both partners don't feel like their needs, their challenges are being addressed, right? So how do we first understand what are the things that escalate? This is something that I'm sure you all will resonate with. There are four major ways in which people respond during conflict that makes sure that the problem does not get solved. It keeps coming up. That's why it keeps coming up over and over again. So, some of the common responses are criticism. Sorry about the spelling error. Criticism versus criticism, that's what I meant. And contempt. So what is criticism? Is where a person, the partner, ends up taking it on themselves to put down the other. The way they deal with conflict is to find fault, with the other person, tell them what's wrong with them, and create a situation of blame, name calling, where they actively attack the other person. That is criticism. What that does is it puts the other person in a defensive space. So you attack me, I attack you. Or you attack me, I become so involved in protecting myself and putting up a wall in order to safeguard myself, that the problem about which we are actually fighting is totally gone out the window, right? The other is contempt. Contempt is again another dangerous way of responding, where the instinct is to put the other person down, to shame the other person. Simple things like rolling the eyes or being dismissive. You make a big deal out of nothing. Basically, making them feel stupid, making them feel worthless. Like, what exactly are you even talking about? That is contempt. Now, both of these are the attacking, the fighting response. The other way is to get defensive or stonewalling. Neither of this, neither of this actually addresses the problem either. If you look at defensiveness, what the person is doing is they feel attacked, so they are pushing to either justify themselves, they stop listening, they start making excuses, they put the blame back, which is a usual response to what we spoke about in criticism. Or Or they go into stonewalling. Stonewalling is when somebody completely shuts down. They stop talking, they stop listening, they just walk away from the conversation. They put up a wall, like what you're saying is not even hitting them. They're not even listening to you. They have this deadpan face, right? Now, if you look at the difference between contempt and criticism and defensiveness and stonewalling, the distinct difference is that contempt and criticism is a fight response. This is more like a fight back response, meaning they feel like you are fighting and attacking them, and so they go into a position to defend themselves and stonewall. And none of these four ways of dealing with the situation actually helps us go towards the solution. Now, if we really want to de escalate the situation and make things better, then what do we do? Because here, in all of the four ways that we have spoken about so far, each of the partners, one or both of the partners, are still sitting with unmet needs and unaddressed, unacknowledged emotions and feelings. The fight is more about trying to prove themselves than to be on the same page to find a solution to the problem. And that is why these problems keep repeating over and over again. So, if we want to de escalate the situation, Gottman came up with something called as the repair attempt. What is the repair attempt? Repair attempt is where this is the path to where both of them need to come together in order to find solutions together. It is no more you versus me, you're right or I'm right, I'm going to prove I'm right, I'm going to prove you're wrong. That's out the window. Versus here, both of them come into a us versus the problem situation. Now you and me are both are in the same team. Okay, so this is something that's not working for you, but I do need this. So what do we do to make this work? So this is an attempt to break the tension, to ensure that both parties get their needs met. It could be a simple, hey, I'm sorry, I did not know this bothered you so much. Okay, let's find a way to fix this. All right, I think this is escalating too much. Let's have a start over. Okay, let's take a moment to calm down. Now, what can we do to ensure both of us get something out of this? People and couples who have mastered the art of making this repair attempt are the ones who tend to solve more problems. A simple way to think about it is the difference between somebody who is reeling in problems and somebody who is reeling in success is simply the number of problems they've solved. And that applies to relationships as well. So, when in a partnership there are differences, there are conflicts, how many problems, how many disagreements are we able to overcome and come to the other side with a mutual understanding pretty much determines how strong the relationship is going to be in the long run. Does this make sense for you? Which of these, the four horsemen or the repair attempt, what is your go to way when you are put in a spot in a disagreement? What is it that you resonate with? Perhaps you're able to, you can identify one or more of these patterns in your partner. Put down your thoughts, share your thoughts here in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you. I hope this was helpful. Stay with me, and I'll come back with more. Have a great day.